Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you had a fantastic day and a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. So happy Mother's Day to all of you, and I hope the dudes out there watching, you took good care of your ladies. So let's take a quick look here at the last back-end data here, kind of recognize some important stuff with liquidation, and then kind of just go from there. So if you're new to the channel, thanks again so much for watching. Welcome aboard, and if you've been watching for a while, obviously you are deeply appreciated and significant part of my life. So thank you again so much for being awesome. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment below. Maybe let me know what your thoughts are on the next steps. What do you think is going to happen here? Well, when we take a look at liquidation, quite a lot has piled up here over the weekend. We do have a decent concentration here locally, kind of spread out between 99,000 and 102,000. So I'm still leaning a little bit more towards that correction coming through. I am fairly surprised we came upwards of about almost 106,000 over the weekend. I'm glad though we were able to average into our Bitcoin position. We're close to like 103.7 for our short. But we are also able to maximize some benefit on some longs too. We took, 39% off XRP, and what was it? Yeah, good 21% off SUI as well. So good stuff there. I mean, there's profits to be taken in either direction, but the simple way to understand it is altcoins doing pretty darn well with Bitcoin dominance being, pulling back, so to speak here. And the overall sense is that you don't really want to short altcoins right now, even if Bitcoin's pulling back. I think it's just kind of ill-advised at this moment. Best thing to do is wait for potentially a better entry on a long position. That's kind of the concept. Anyways, back to liquidation. Between, just remember, 99 to 102K is that little liquidation range there locally. We look at liquidation delta. It has tapered off a little bit. It tapered off to about 25 billion over the weekend, and now we're down at about 20. So this is still good, still very bullish. It doesn't mean that we're just going to shoot straight down. It just implies that a correction would make sense because we've been overextended for too long. If you keep too much liquidation in one direction for too long, it just tends to correct itself. I mean, after looking at liquidation day in and day out for years, I can tell you that it's very consistent when you have 3 or 4 days worth of just overextension that it's due to correct itself. Today's a Monday too. We had some profits from over the weekend being taken. It's just kind of a very sensible situation, but make sure you do not consider shorting altcoins, at least at this exact moment. It just seems like a bad idea. Unless Bitcoin runs towards 100,000, maybe we'll see that. But if we keep seeing this nice slow corrective pattern, then I think alts are going to be in perfectly good shape. So all that being said, fair value gap, 97 to 103. All right, so we got rounding up a little bit there. It's more like 102.5, but the simple way to understand is we got more value there left remaining because the price action moved up too quickly back on Thursday, and we got to see some kind of corrective behavior here soon. Once more, a lot of confluence at the $97,000 range with points of control, more specifically 0.618 key fib levels, and then also to recognize too our weekly high close. We still have yet to close over that. In fact, I don't think we did close over that last. No, we didn't. Take a look here. This is the weekly time frame. We had previous weekly closures at 104.5. We came right up to that level and rejected out. Okay, so this is probably the beginning of a type of cup and handle type of pattern where the price pulls back for a flag and bounces off its local point of control. That happens quite a lot. That's more of a larger term perspective there, but the simple way to understand it, we have a fair value gap below us. The CME gap is right there at about 102,000 if I recall correctly. Let me show this to you really quick. Sorry, 92,000. I misspoke. 102. Okay, that's a totally different story. Don't worry about that guy. I think the odds of seeing 92,000 is pretty low. It's a small one anyways. But the whole point of me mentioning this is that there is value below the price. Down as low as that 97 to 100,000 range. So seems sensible to expect the price to pull back, but also not to be ridiculous and just try to short your shirt off with everything right now. I think alts are super strong, and there's a lot of reasons why they may pull back, but they're probably not going to be significant corrections, and the odds of them going down fast is pretty low. There's a lot of things to kind of think about. Either way, daily time frame still looks good here. We're back on under 70 on the RSI. That's actually very good. We want to see that. We need this correction to happen in order for the next leg up to be substantial, or at least for it to be able to stick around longer, if you will. Because we can't just keep going up and up and up without any correction. We're going to have a problem if that happens. So this little corrective pattern so far, I think, is actually very healthy. What's healthy is most altcoins, while they are correcting, they have a lot of support below them, and it's close. So the close support does imply that. Anyways, I'll cover other altcoins here soon, but I'm just kind of giving you the perspective here that this correction here is not a bad thing. We want it to happen, and it's also beneficial in a lot of ways. But we have lost the 20-day SMA just based on how strong the price action has been moving upwards. That doesn't mean we're just going to shoot to the ground, but it does once again imply the short-term continuation has shifted and will probably go. I'm thinking 100 to 97K is a very sensible place to consider. All that said, though, everything here is kind of pointing down tentatively for the moment. It's not super substantial. The macro is still very strong, but from a short-term perspective, this is a very welcome situation here. Taking a look at the hourly too, we can see we're down underneath the cloud for the first time in quite a while. Last time we dropped below the cloud, we dropped from 95 to about 94,000. Sorry, that's about 96 to 94 if you round down. So it wasn't like a super correction, but generally speaking, when you drop below the cloud, you're going to see somewhat of a continuation in that direction. So if we take that 2% movement there, that puts us right there at about 100,000. Okay, so a lot of little signs are kind of adding up to see that 100K mark. But I do not recommend at this exact moment to short any altcoins right now. While some of them could run, it's just inherently a bad decision to short alts right now because of just how strong they are at this point. So that's just kind of the thoughts there. Either way, I want to hear your thoughts. Why don't you comment below? Let me know where you're at with everything, and how was your holiday? Did you enjoy time with your lady? I hope you did, or maybe you spent time with your dude if you're a chick, one way or the other. I appreciate you. Make sure you take advantage between now and May 14th. We got 2 more days left here, folks. It's a nice little deposit reward bonus. Take advantage of that, folks. It's really easy money. Last but not least, join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I always had to mention this because people are surprised that I have it. I've been had this for quite a while, actually. I am late to the party in 2023, but truth is, it's been a good experience there, so check it out. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next one. Take care.